Yuyakizami21 here, and welcome back to another one of my top 5 lists, this time on Fallout again. And this time I'm going to list down the top 5 most challenging DLCs that you can play in Tale of Two Wastelands. So basically, Tale of Two Wastelands is using the New Vegas gameplay, but it also incorporates the gameplay from Fallout 3 and all its DLCs. So, without further ado, let's get to the point. And also a bit of a disclaimer. This list is more of my personal opinion because I already experienced it once. So if I noted down the things that you think is easy, pardon me for that. So let's get to number 5. Coming in at number 5 is Point Lookout in Fallout 3. So Point Lookout is basically a new landscape that is introduced in the DLC of the same name, where you are supposed to find a girl named Nadine and bring her back to her mother. But also you have to find another story and deal with that story as well. What makes Point Lookout so hard is that it's only because of the enemies itself, the swamp people. The swamp people, they're basically irradiated hillbillies, but they have the aim of special forces, and their shotguns can pierce true power armor. It happened to me once. I almost died because of one shot from a shotgun, and that was before I used the realistic headshot mod. Remind you. So, the only reason why Point Lookout is really hard is because of those swamp people. Anyway, let's go on to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is Broken Steel. Broken Steel is basically the continuation of the Fallout 3 main story, which takes place 2 weeks after the story ends. What makes Broken Steel so hard is because this DLC also affects the events before the DLC even happens, which means even before the DLC starts, if you are on a high level, you will encounter these: the Enclave Hellfire troops, Super Mutant Overlords, and Albino Red Scorpions. These 3 enemies are so overpowered due to their high HP, and don't get me started on the Super Mutant Overlords because of how tanky they are and how annoying they can be to fight without balancing mods and such. So that's why Broken Steel is the number 4 most challenging DLC in my list. Let's go on to number 3. Coming in number 3 is the Lonesome Roads DLC for Fallout New Vegas. This is the final DLC for Fallout New Vegas in terms of the story DLC, which takes place after Old World Blues, so it has the right to be challenging. So what makes Lonesome Roads so challenging is the marked men, because they can heal using radiation like feral ghouls and also other ghouls. Also, the marked men are equipped with good weapons as well. Even anti-material rifles, they can also have them on their inventory. Also, the tunnelers here are also the most annoying enemy type to face in the Lonesome Road DLC because, don't get me wrong, fighting one tunneler is easy, but fighting a horde of them, and if you're not prepared, they can tear you to shreds, like what Ulysses told the courier about the tunnelers when they encounter the Deathclaw. So, a good build is required to go through Lonesome Roads with ease, because at least in Lonesome Roads you can bring your gear from the Mojave Wasteland, I mean. Although it is recommended that you bring at least basic items so that you can use the gear that is in Lonesome Roads, which is already good tier equipment as well, like the riot gear. So that's why the Lonesome Road DLC is the third most challenging DLC in Tale of Two Wastelands. Let's go on to number 2. Taking the number 2 spot for the most challenging DLC in Tale of Two Wastelands is Old World Blues. Old World Blues, the storyline is amusing because of the hilarious dialogue with the think tank and also Dr. Mobius. So what was it about Old World Blues that make it so difficult? Old World Blues take place in Big MT. The Big MT is a massive crater. A massive crater filled with enemies. Enemies with very high HP, and they can overwhelm you very easily, especially the Robo Scorpions. And these Robo Scorpions, as well as the other robots in this DLC, are more resistant to even EMP, making them a pain to face. Also, some of the challenges here includes fighting legendary creatures such as the legendary bloatflies and also the legendary spore carrier. I forgot what the name of that spore carrier is, but that's basically it. Playing this on hardcore difficulty, well, you really need to stock up on supplies as well. What's good about this DLC is like Lonesome Roads and the other DLCs except for one, you can bring your gear from the Mojave Wasteland here, so you can use your build of your choice. Now let's go on to the number one spot, the most challenging Tale of Two Wastelands DLC. Taking the number one spot for the most challenging DLC in Tale of Two Wastelands, in my opinion, is of course it's going to be Dead Money. You guys know this one was coming. So what was it about Dead Money that makes it the most challenging DLC in my opinion? Well, it's because it's basically everything else. Since this is going to be a long one if I tell it everything, I'm going to tell the little things that makes it hard. So basically, gear. You start off with all of your gear from the Mojave Wastelands stripped off from you, and you can only get them back after you beat the DLC. The second, the enemies there. The ghost people and the holograms. The ghost people, they cannot be killed by normal means. So if you kill them, but you don't decapitate or dismember their limbs, they will come back up straight away to fight you again. Also, the holograms cannot be harmed. You need to be strategic in order to face these holograms and get out unscathed, because the holograms, they deal a lot of damage. The third one, the cloud. The cloud, if you go into an area filled with the cloud, your HP will deteriorate so fast that you can die in seconds. Unless you bring Dean Domino with you as a companion. But Dean Domino is not going to be your companion forever, so the perk that he gives is pretty niche because it's very temporary, because Dean leaves you regardless of what you choose. And the final one is the speakers. The speakers here are connected to the signal that your explosive shock collar has on your neck. If you're close to a speaker, the speaker will beep. And it beeps even faster before it finally blows up, killing you, and you have to restart from the last autosave. And the main point is the way to resupply in this DLC. The way to resupply in this DLC is mainly by using the vending machines strewn all over the Sierra Madre, both in the villa and in the casino. And the vending machines only accept Sierra Madre chips. So you either have to find them, or you can get our cigarettes and turn them in for more chips. So you can buy more stim packs and items, and also weapon mods. For the rewards, this DLC has the most rewarding rewards of all the other DLCs. 37 gold bars, and as well as all gear that is available in the DLC except for the unique assassin armor that you can only find in the clinic. The way to get all of those rewards is pretty easy, just by using a popular glitch, which is already became a meme. So without further ado, because of all the challenges that you have to face in this DLC, this makes the DLC not only tedious but also the most challenging DLC in Tale of Two Wastelands, and basically the most challenging and tedious DLC for Fallout New Vegas, even though this is the first story DLC for the game. So with that, we have already finished. Let me know what is the most challenging DLC in your opinion in the comments, and also please like and subscribe to get more content from me. And I'll see you next time, guys.